I am here with the captain of the flats, Mr. Gary Rooney himself. Gary, how's it going?
All good, brother, all good.
Firstly, I want you to take us through the absolute connoisseur menu that you've put together for your breakfast. If you could just let us know, let the people know what you're eating, please.
So we have a bit of turkey bacon, a few scrambled eggs, a little bit of bread, so we don't have to cut that much weight for the next fight is at Bantam, so we're all good. And then a cup of tea. Tea bag still in it, obviously.
I mean, just expert level stuff,
Hard
right?
to be.
Expert level stuff. Expert level. So, look, we'll start off where we sort of ended. The last conversation we had was just before the IMAFs. If you want to talk me through how you felt in the IMAFs, what went wrong in the IMAFs, what went well in the IMAFs, just generally, how did you feel about the IMAFs?
Yeah, I felt very good, bro. Like, it was a tough time for me, but I felt present in the moment. Like, that's all you can really ask for. Like, when you're in the cage, all the external factors are they're left when the guy is putting the Vaseline on your face. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way I think about it. When the guy is Vaseline you up, and then when you walk through the doors, everything else is gone and you're there. And sometimes it's not. I've been in the cave sometimes and I'm not present more at the start of my career. But yeah, I was present in the moment. I felt good. I won my first fight. I had a tough fight against Kazakhstan in the second round. I ended up losing on a split decision, but a lot of positives to take away from it. I didn't I don't know. I felt like it could have went either way. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of them things. You know what I mean? So, as much as I was heartbroken, I was crying after and stuff when I lost. But looking back on it now, it's just I went out on my shield. You know what I mean? Like, I went for it. There was a good moment, and the IMAF missed him, and I was snapping. There was a good moment in between the first and the second round when I was off me stool and he was still sitting on the ground, and I was like fucking screaming at him. Like, I was like, come on, like, you're not here to fight. And it was sick, man. And I didn't plan it. It was so natural, man. And I'm snapping the IMAF missed him, man. It was so fucking cool, man. It was class.
I guess the thing that I want to dive into a little bit more on that is, you said I went out on my shield, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, this is something that is evident when we watch you fight, but equally when we talk to you, right, as a person. You're somebody that lives and breathes this thing and is more than happy to go out there, leaving it absolutely all on the line. Like, every fight that you have, I suspect you learn a little bit more about yourself, but also about the fight game. Like, why is it that you're happy to go out on your shield every single time you fight? Why is that?
Yeah, I guess because, like, I'm not taking the next one for granted, bro. Like, it kind of has to be that, doesn't it? Like, it has to be a do or die situation. Like, I think, if like, I don't know, like, my friend was asking me the other day, he was like, oh, we go out for a few drinks. I was like, bro, I don't even think about that, man. Like, I don't pack jeans or a nice shirt going to a fight. Like, I'm not thinking about walking out there, man. I'm thinking about dying in there, you know what I mean? So, I kind of guess just that situation, I really do believe that anything could happen in there. So I'm really present in the moment and accepting of that. Know what I mean? If I don't make it out, then I don't make it out.
I love that. And I think the way that I read a caption on one of the photos on your Instagram recently.
Yeah.
And that was in the bullpen, waiting to scrap. Yeah. Fighting for yourself, your country, the flats. Yeah. Fuck me, there's no feeling like it. Fighting is my passion, but representing my country to war is an honor. Yeah. Can you just unpack that statement there? There's a couple of things in there that I'd like you to unpack a little bit further. The first is the last line. Yeah. Fighting is my passion, but representing my country to war is an honor. And the second is fighting for yourself, for your country, for the flats. There's no feeling like it. So if you could talk about those two things, I'd appreciate that.
I guess, like, it's kind of self-explanatory, you know. Like, I think everybody can fight. Everybody fights. It's a natural thing that happens in the system. You know what I mean? Whether you train or not, fighting is fighting. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter because I train it. But, like, hearing your name being called out, like that's the Olympics, man. You know what I mean? Until it's recognised as an Olympic sport, the IMAFs is the Olympics. So, like, when you wrap the flag around your shoulders, man, it's no feeling like it, bro. I swear to God, it's fucking unbelievable. So it is an honor, you know what I mean? Like, fighting, I love fighting, but getting to represent the country at such a high level stage, it is an honor. It honestly is. You know what I mean? I'm so grateful for it, and I know when I'm old and I'm looking back, you know what I mean? It's gonna be like, geez, I fought for Ireland. Like, it's not many people can say that. You know what I mean? So, I'm truly grateful for it. And then, just fighting for the flats, fighting for myself, fighting for everybody, fighting for all the people who are down. They're in bad areas, told that they can't do it. You know what I mean? It's just one of them things where I'm fighting against the system. You know what I mean? The system is made to make workers. It's made to just make yes men. You know what I mean? I'm just doing my own thing, and I just want to show everybody else that it doesn't have to be fighting. Whatever you're passionate about, follow it. Go for it. I don't care.
And this was something that we spoke about in our last conversation, was sort of your community-based spirit, right? Doing things for the community, doing things for the flats, doing things for your people, right? You used the word family, and you said that the family is not defined by blood, it's defined by who's loyal and who's around to you, right?
Yeah.
So can you touch a little bit on the clothing brand with your dad?
Nice.
That feels like a fantastic thing, and if you could talk a little bit about that, I'd appreciate that.
So I'm only after starting up a clothing company, me and my dad, and it's called Hadaka Jime, so the Japanese name for like rear naked strangle. So we went with that idea, and we've had like a few ideas in the past. Like, we also do an artwork called Submission and Control, and it's big murals around the city of grappling. So it's always like kind of like abstract grappling pieces, so you wouldn't really know unless you know. But like, we've always kind of had ideas and just like little funny things. My dad's very good with art, and like, we both have funny minds about it. You know what I mean? Like, we can both. I think taking yourself too seriously is a bad thing. You know what I mean? Like, you need to slag the sport. Like, it's like people who train, man, they're just idiots who roll around all day to the rest of society. You know what I mean? Like, they're just like, them people are mad. So I think like there's a little a niche or something. I'm not too sure of the word, but there's like a piece that we can tap in on, and if I can use that to fund myself to fly over to the IMAFs or anything like that, like, it'd be great, because I don't want to get a real job, man. And if I can make a few t-shirts and produce some good ideas out there, and it'd be cool to have people wearing the t-shirts and not know about it. Like, they don't have to know. If they think it's a nice t-shirt, they'll wear it. You know what I mean? So I like that. I like that aspect. You know what I mean? It won't be about me. It'll be about the pieces.
I agree. And if we could touch a little bit more on how art has sort of played a part in your life. I mean, obviously you've spoke about that your father is a fantastic artist. You've obviously got a mural of yourself, right, in Ireland, which is unbelievable. Like, and it feels as though in the way that you fight, in the way that you speak, art is an important part of your character, right? Would you agree with that? And if so, why do you think that is?
Yeah, I would agree, bro. I think again, it's a martial art, isn't it? Like, as much as like, it's half science, half martial, half art. You know what I mean? So like, the sciences, we all have two arms. Well, not all of us, God bless. You know what I mean? But 2 arms, 2 legs, 1 neck. Like, so that's the science, and then the art is about how you choose to break it, how you choose to strangle it. Know what I mean? So that's when maybe it might be a pressure type of guy, maybe it might be quick. That's the art, but the science is how to get by the legs. Know what I mean? So I guess it just comes into everything, doesn't it? Like, the art is in everything when you look hard enough, or don't look at all.
I agree, and if anyone needs to see artistry, they can go and watch the first fight with the gentleman that you're competing against on Saturday, and watch that first single leg entry. It is disgustingly nice.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Yeah.
So we'll get onto that fight, right? Go on.
It's just like expressing yourself into, like, I'm sure in the next fight it's going to be different. Know what I mean? Like, art, it's never the same. Know what I mean? Unless it's like a stencil or something, and then even still, like, it's each one is unique, each one is special, and it'll never happen again. Know what I mean?
Of course, and it can't, right? And I think this is something that I enjoy, and I tie together with the statement that you just made about fighting specifically. Is, you're going to go and you're going to have a rematch now with a gentleman you fought 2 months ago, but the fight's not going to be the same. It can't be the same.
Not at all, no.
And it's not going to be the same because you're different people. You're both different humans. You've both moved further along in your martial art journey. So let's touch on that fight a little bit. Firstly, if you could give me your thoughts on the last fight specifically, and what you think is going to change this time.
Yeah, so the last fight, it was a good fight. It was a tough fight. Matthew Friel's a game opponent, like, know what I mean? He'll fight anybody. Yeah, I think Paddy Houlihan was telling me a story. He fought twice on one night or something, know what I mean? Like, the fella is there to scrap, know what I mean? Like, so I respect Matthew a lot for that, know what I mean? He's a great competitor. But it was a good fight. It was a split decision. Personally, I thought it was unanimous. I thought I won 3 rounds pretty clear, but he did have some good moments. He caught me with a nice reversal in the first and stuff like that. Yeah, it was a good fight. Some good striking exchange, but it was a lot of grappling. I feel like I think I might have been the 3rd round. The ref stood us up when it was knee slicing. I would have liked him to. Yeah. I don't know. Look, whatever. It is what it is. Know what I mean? But I would have liked him to see how the fight would have played on if I had got boy. It was the 3rd round. We were tired. Know what I mean? I would have liked him to see what happened there. But I'm looking forward to the rematch. Yeah, I know it's going to be a different fight. I know he's not going to want to lose. Know what I mean? Like, I know some people might think I'm confident going in there, but like, not like I am confident, but I understand that he's going to come out swinging and he's not going to lose again. So I'm ready for that. Yeah.
Absolutely, and I wanted to touch on that a little bit, and I sort of opened that question up to something that me and the Severe MMA guys have been talking about a little bit. Like, I couldn't understand why you had double unders, you had head position, and you were leg pummeling to knee cut, right?
Yeah.
Like, you were 10 seconds max away from mount.
Yeah.
What are we doing standing you up, right? I don't understand.
Yeah, sure. Look, it happens. Know what I mean? Like, advantage, yeah.
Yeah,
advantage,
sure. Yeah,
advantage.
Sure. But I wanted to ask a question about the rule set in amateur in amateur MMA, and that's obviously you have 3-minute rounds, right?
Yeah.
And for somebody who has very strong grappling like you, do you feel as though the 3-minute round plays a positive role in terms of winning fights? And I'll expand that a little bit. So my thought generally on amateur MMA is these are just the battle testing grounds for you to then go on and have a pro career, right?
Yeah.
To figure out all the holes in your game, to figure out the good things, the bad things, the things you need to work on, to go and see lots of situations that you wouldn't necessarily see in the program, or at least you don't want to see them in the program for the first time. Whereas in amateur MMA, and we kind of saw it in the last fight, right? You got a single leg early on in the fight, and a lot of the fight was then contested on the ground, right? So you're not getting to develop the striking game in the fight as maybe you would want to. Would you prefer to see 5-minute rounds for amateur MMA, or are you happy with 3?
Okay, are you asking my personal opinion?
Absolutely your personal opinion.
Okay, I think the fight should go back to old school style, 1 round for amateur, 9 minutes.
Of course you fucking say that. Of course you would say that.
Of course, man. That's the truth. Know what I mean? Look, it's a fight at the end of the day. I actually read the Hicks and Gracie book, Breed, and he talks about like the rounds favour the striker, the gloves favour the striker. There's a few things in there that favour the striker. Like, I would prefer bare knuckle, 1 round and just 9 minutes. Then you're gonna see who the better fighter is. Because sometimes, like, now listen, I'm blading shite at the cardio myself, know what I mean? But the cardio makes cowards of us all, know what I mean? So if a grappler, it's hard to take somebody down, man. So, like, if I can take him down once, that's all I need. But if they can hold on to me and then the round ends and then I have to try it again, like, it's different, know what I mean? It becomes more of the sport then. And look, you can't be mad at it. It is what it is. But, and again, it's not as exciting to the fans. Like, you need to be pretty heavily involved in the grappling to appreciate, like, the leg pummeling and the knee slice. To the average people who are drunk looking at it, they're just like, they can stand these up and let them bang. So I can see from an entertainment point of view with the rounds and that stuff, but as a fighter and a competitor and a lover of fighting, I think the 1 round, that's the way to go. Yeah, that's who you're truly gonna find out who the better one is. Then, yeah.
I think that's a really interesting point, because you're right that if in the first, let's just say in the first, when Matthew had managed to reverse the position, if it was a 9-minute round, he's got a lot of time to work, but so do you.
Exactly, yeah,
right?
Yeah, 100. It works either way. Like, exactly, it works either way.
Right, and I think that's bare knuckle. I'm not sure I agree personally with bare knuckle, but
when you think about it, the gloves actually protect your hand. They don't protect the other guy's head. So,
sure.
Know what I mean? Like, if I punch you on the top of the head, big fat head in you, I'm gonna break my hand. Know what I mean? Whereas you need to be calm with your strikes. You need to aim for the soft parts of the face and the soft parts of the body. I can't just go in there and just start going for it. So it actually is less damaging on the brain. It's more damaging on your hand, but it's less damaging on the brain.
And I guess as well, you'd see more elbows and more forearms and maybe some bus root and palm strikes, right?
Man, your whole body's a weapon. It's not just your hands, you know what I mean?
Yeah, okay. All right. So we're going to lobby for amateur MMA to go to 1 9-minute round. I understand.
That's what I would like. Yeah, I would like that. I would like that. Maybe you can start up a petition or something like that.
Yeah, fuck it. Why not?
Just your signatures on it. That's it. Nobody else wants it.
I mean, I could probably not get Sean to sign it either, but I mean, I'd have a crack. Let's go into the fight coming up this weekend. Like, how do you expect it to be different from your perspective? Obviously, you can't talk really about Matthew because that's an intangible. But what's changed between the 2 months that you last competed and the 2 months that you've got now?
More hard rounds, bro. Smullen on top of me for even longer. Yeah. 2 months is Smullen and Blaine, Kieran Clark killing me, man. Yeah. So just the training, bro. I just think the more of them rounds I put in, man, the better they get. I just think that's it. You know what I mean? I truly do think nothing has changed much. I don't think I've learned any new skills. Maybe I've actually learned to slow it down a little bit and relax and take my time. So I don't think I haven't learned, like 2 months, it's not enough time to actually add a new blade to your arsenal, you know what I mean? So I'm not going to lie, I haven't added that new to my game, but I've had 3 fights since the IMAFs. It's been 2 months since I fought Matthew. So, like, I'm just more experienced, man. I'm just thinking about it a bit more, you know what I mean? Like, I want to try get a finish this time. The first fight, I just wanted to win, I won't lie, you know what I mean? This time I want to try get a finish, yeah?
Absolutely. And on the topic of finish, like you had a triangle at the very end of the third.
Yeah.
Like on the point of having a 9-minute match or maybe a further match, like if you'd have had another minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, do you think that's a finish?
Well, I won't lie. It was locked up on the wrong side. I needed to readjust a few times, so I just kind of locked it up and just started hitting them because I knew the time I was going. But I think if I had another 2 or 3 minutes, then yeah, I could have made the adjustments to switch the arm across and start something new. Yeah, and exactly try to create an angle. Yeah, so it depends. Look, so you never know. You know what I mean? That's the beauty of it, bro. You know what I mean? We'll find out on Saturday.
So I'm going to pivot slightly away from that fight. Bro. If you win on Saturday, that's 2 belts that you're holding immediately. Wins over the same opponent, fine. Yeah. What does that mean in terms of your future? Do you stay amateur a while longer? Do you do the IMAS next year? Do you turn over pro?
Yeah, man,
what's the goal?
I'm still looking to stay amateur for a few more fights. Yeah, I'd like a few more fights. I think this will be my 12th fight. I wouldn't mind 20 to 30, man, if I'm being honest. Now I don't want to stretch it too much to where it affects my pro career, but like I'm 22, man, of time, you know what I mean? Like Lee Hammond, Kieran Clark, they had plenty of amateur fights. Alexander O'Sullivan, like they all have lots of amateur fights, and you can see it in their style. They mix it up well, you know what I mean? I still don't feel like I've clicked it yet, you know what I mean? Like I have good jiu-jitsu, I have good striking, I have good wrestling, and now it's just getting it all together, you know what I mean? So I still feel like I'm in the learning stages of that. When I go pro, bro, we want to be ready to fight for the UFC world title. And I know that's mad arrogant to say, but like that's your mindset you should be on, man. When you're ready to go professional, you should be ready to be the best.
I couldn't agree more. And I think that's something that just impressed me so much in our last conversation and impressing me again now is the self-awareness, right? Like something that I personally look for when I'm looking at fighters, specifically in the UFC, right, is their ability to transition through the phases. Yeah, so you look at somebody like Khamzat Chimaev, right, who's carrying a ton of hype right now.
Yeah.
He is able to transition from mid to long range striking, from mid-range to clinch striking, to wrestling, to takedowns, to grappling seamlessly. It just seems to just happen.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's the mark of a special fighter, specifically now in this era of MMA, is being able to transition. So for you to be able to say, look, I'm going to hold my hands up. I think I've got a really, really good skill sets in all of the individual areas, but the melding together still needs to work. I think is super, super impressive.
Yeah, of course, man. You need to be true to yourself. Like, look, when you go to bed at night and you close your eyes and you're thinking the little voice in your head, like, you know yourself, bro. You know when you're there or not. Like, same with Khamzat, like, he came into the UFC and, like, he's ready to fight for the title. You know what I mean? When he came to the UFC, he was ready. You know what I mean? When he went professional, in his head, he was ready to fight for the UFC belt, and I know I'm not there yet. You know what I mean? There's a few top guys in the flyweight division of the UFC. You know what I mean? And I know I'm not there yet, but I know I'm close. It's not. It's not. It's not as far away as a thing or an impossible thing like it was when you first start out. It's completely untouchable. But now it's just I'm just knocking on the door. You know what I mean? Like I'm getting there slowly.
Yeah, I love that. And I think you said it's mad arrogant. I mean, I don't think it is. I think for any fighter, especially a fighter with aspirations like yourself, you have to be a little bit delusional, right? Otherwise, you're never going to be able to put the work in.
Yeah, exactly. You just need to believe in yourself, man. Into like I just truly believe that I will be the best ever.
Right, and so you should, right? Because if not, why would you be getting up and doing the hard miles, doing the hard rounds, doing the hard spars, putting in the wrestling work, sleeping properly, not going out with the boys and drinking this and smoking that and doing this and doing that, right?
Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly. Like there's time for that after, bro. You know what I mean? There's plenty of time for that after. But it's just, and as well, it's just the passion, isn't it? It's the grind. It's the, I don't know. I read a good quote the other day. I listened to it. It's like the guy who loves walking will walk more than anybody. Like the guy who can walk the most, or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it's just, man, I just truly love the process. I love the feeling of getting better. I love the feeling of like adding layers to the scramble against the guys. You know what I mean? And you can feel it, man. And I know if I just can continue to do this, then I will be. You know what I mean? It's done, bro. There's an infinite amount of possibilities out there, and I know in one of them I'm definitely a UFC champion. You know what I mean? So it's just about stirring that into reality. You know what I mean?
And if I can ask maybe an intangible question, but let's say one day you get to the UFC, you fight for a title, you win the title. What does that actually mean to you? And let me preface that with some slight context.
Yeah.
Some guys want to win the title because it means money. Some guys want to win the title because it means fame. Some guys want to win the title because it means they're the best martial artist on the planet. Like, what does it actually mean for Gary Rooney to win a UFC title?
It means that the sacrifices that my brothers made was worth it. I feel like spiritual about their passings, man. I feel about Steo and Larkin. I feel like it was spiritual. Like I feel like they had to. It's the only way I can kind of accept it, bro. To be honest, but I feel like they had to give up their lives so I could really know what was my true purpose in life, if that makes sense. And I know that's a fucking mad thing to say, but I feel like otherwise, what's the point? You know what I mean? I should just sit in bed all day and do fuck all, and you know what I mean? It's the only way I can kind of make a silver lining out of the situation.
Yeah, I hear that.
So, I know it's a heavy answer. I know it is, but that's what I feel like. I feel like when I get that belt, that it was worth it. You know what I mean? Like like I can fucking, like I can finally meet them at the gates and say, look, you know yourself, bro. Yeah, so that's kind of my mindset on them, bro. Yeah.
And frankly, I think that's one of the purest answers I've heard. Right, something that always sticks with me is when Chris Weidman did an interview after he won the title, and he said, you know, he went back to the locker room with the belt, and he looked in the mirror, and he was like, "Is this it?
Yeah.
Like I've worked all my life. I had the same shower before. I have the same shower after. My wife is still the same.
Yeah.
My family are still the same.
Yeah, exactly.
And yet I've got this piece of leather around my waist, right?
Yeah. It's same like, see, after the IMAX, man, like I was fucking distraught, man. I was sobbing my eyes out, bro, because I just wanted to give the gold medal to Kaylee, and like it was all worth it. Like it'd fix everything. You know what I mean? Like I really wanted to just go home and give her that medal and just say, look, I don't know if I stay out, it'll be all okay, but bro, I didn't come home with a medal, and if I had came home with a gold medal, I would have done fuck all, bro. And that's the truth, man. Man, he's gone, and nothing can ever replace, no gold medal can ever replace, no UFC title can ever replace these people that we love and care for, and they give us so much passion. You know what I mean? So it's just, look, man, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like for me personally, I would love to have that feeling, and I was heartbroken when I didn't. But bro, it's an internal battle I'm struggling with even still today, like of not associating the gold and the wins with happiness. Know what I mean? That's just, it is what it is, man. Know what I mean? And if you're lucky enough to win, then okay, it's good. But again, you go to bed at night, the people who loved you, they still love you, and the fake cunts get weeded out. So it's a blessing in disguise sometimes losing, yeah.
For sure. And I mean, you touched on that last time, right? You said,
Yeah.
Look at the people that are around you when you win, but
Yeah.
really look at the people who are around you when you lose.
Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly.
So I'm going to talk about, go on to something that's probably right up your street, the community-based stuff. I saw that you're going to do some teaching for a place called Universal Space. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? What is that?
It's just like a space in town, and it's just like they do all like yoga and drums. It's just like an area that they kind of like give out to people that are interested in. Like I know the fella Mark Logan, and I think he owns this, but I'm not too sure. But he just wants to give back. You know what I mean? Like, and it's a space. There's a few mats down, and I'm just looking to coach a few beginners. You know what I mean? So if you're interested in learning, give them a text, and we can sort it. So, and it's an introduction to jiu-jitsu. So it's not a jiu-jitsu class. It's an introduction. So, like me, I need my brother to hold my hand going in. You know what I mean? I was like, I didn't want to join unless my brother joined, so I'd have a partner. You know what I mean? So I understand the hesitation to join a martial arts gym. It's scary, man. You always expect they're going to be big, steadied up people. And then when you join, they're all mad nerds, mad comic book nerds. You know what I mean? So it's a mad perception that you have in your head. So I don't know, I think I'm a good balance in between. You'll realise, like, geez, this fella's a bleeding brown belt in jiu-jitsu and he's an idiot. You know what I mean? So it's all right. You know what I mean?
As a coach,
yeah,
how do you cultivate an atmosphere that sort of allows that hesitation to dissipate and allow people to be comfortable? How, especially with grappling, how do you do that?
Them. Yeah, slagging them. That's what I think. Anyway, that's all I know, bro. Yeah, I'm comfortable when I'm giving stick and I'm getting stick back. You know what I mean? Like that's what makes me relax. You know what I mean? When things are too serious, like even with you, bro, this interview, it's perfect because it's normal. Like I hate when it's super serious, bro. I hate that bollocks. You know what I mean? Like I like just a laugh where you can be free, you can be yourself, you can be an idiot. You know what I mean? So I think like I just try to chill. I don't take myself too seriously, and especially jiu-jitsu, bro. Like you're rolling around the ground, relax. You know what I mean? Don't think you're that special.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's something that escapes a lot of people, right? Like, as you said, and this is something, again, I find very impressive about your mentality, and that's that in a lot of ways, fighting is extremely serious. It is extremely serious because there are serious health implications on the line. When you step into that cage, you've already said you're willing to die in there, right?
Yeah.
That means taking an incredible amount of damage and an incredible amount of trauma, but also being willing to deal that same amount of damage and trauma out, right?
Yeah.
So those aspects of the sport are incredibly serious. And in the same vein, the regimen that you put yourself through, the mental effort and commitment that you provide to the sport is incredibly serious. You wouldn't get to the level you're at right now or the levels that you aspire to be at without that seriousness. But as you then say, on the flip side of that, you are literally rolling around on the floor with some lads or some females. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not. And how do you, like, in your own head, obviously you've gotten to the point where you've made that realization, you've accepted it, and now you live it. But do you remember a time when you were attempting to make that sort of division that maybe you were too serious at sometimes, maybe you were too relaxed at sometimes? Like,
yeah, there has been like me and Alex talked about this, Alexander O'Sullivan, and like at the start, like you think like you're the best, and then like before you do a class and you realize how shit you are, and then like you go down super, and then like it takes you years to even get to half the level of where you started. Like you think you're a UFC champion at the start, a few classes in, you're like, we can do this, and then you're probably like you get smashed at a competition, you're like, right, I'm bleeding shy. And then like it takes time to slowly build back up, and then you're like, okay, I'm shy, but I'm getting better. And then you realize like there's levels to it, and then you realize, Jesus, like where I thought it was, I'm never reaching that. So it's just a weird one, bro. Yeah, you kind of need to find it out for yourself. It's sometimes you're too lackadaisy, and then something might happen, you might lose or whatever, and then you're taking it too serious. So you're like, right, I need to just enjoy it again. It's a fine balance. Yeah, it's like, I guess it's it's constant. I don't think that part ever stops. Yeah.
And what do you think that teaches you about life?
Just to go with the flow, bro, and feel natural, man. Exactly. Don't be stressing too hard. If it feels good, then continue to do it. Yeah, but you also need to push yourself as well. Like humans are a bit too content with comfortable. Know what I mean? So you'd be like, I'm feeling good. This is comfortable, but you're actually not pushing yourself that extra bit. Know what I mean? So like you need to have a fine line between that. Yeah.
That's beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. And that's where you need to hang around with people who are better than you. And like you hang around 5 million years, you're gonna become the sixth man. Know what I mean? You need to hang around with these people who are constant motivators and constant hard workers. And know what I mean? That's what I try to surround myself with. Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. Agree more.
Like man, Smullen, like honestly, like I can't praise that man enough. Like I really can't. Like he's the hardest worker I've ever seen in my whole life, man. Honestly, like he's an absolute animal. So I just say, right, I know sometimes I'm a little bit of a bollocks and I'll come to class late, but I'd be like, if I can just be with Smullen, then I have to aspire to that level. Know what I mean? I have to up my game to that level, and that's it. If I can do the shit that Richie Smullen is doing, then I know that there's no one that can stop me. Yeah.
Sure, like standards are being set by elders. Standards are being set by people that you surround yourself with. If you put yourself in a room with people that you respect, then you're likely to copy those traits, right?
Exactly. Like what your nanny says, like, show me your friends and I'll show you your future, man. It's the old nannies, the stuff that nannies say have truth to them, bro. As a kid, you're like, look, you don't know that. But as you get older, you realise they're after having a whole life. You know what I mean? They know.
Absolutely, they know. I'm going to pivot slightly to UFC 273, if you don't mind. Obviously, that's on this weekend.
Yeah.
Have you got any thoughts about any of the title fights? Do you make predictions? Do you follow the sport like that?
You'd mess with the boys, but I think it's all I've been focusing on is Hamza. To be honest, I love that fella. I love all the block asset stuff he's doing with Darren Till. I think it's bleeding great, yeah. But I think Hamza, I'm interested to see it again as a jiu-jitsu fan as well. Like Gilbert Burns, it's no joke. So I am interested to see how the styles match up. But again, like Alan Finfel's Hamza's jiu-jitsu coach, you know what I mean? Like that fella is no joke, man. Like he's a terror guy, you know what I mean? So Hamza's jiu-jitsu is incredible, and I'm looking forward to see it. But who else is fighting? There's what other title fights? It's Pete Yan and Aljamain Sterling actually is the other fight, isn't there?
And then it's Volkanovski versus Chang Sung Jung, Korean Zombie.
Yeah. So Pete Yan, like he's the champion. Like realistically, like I don't like the way Aljo handled the whole situation, like about the disqualification. Like he dropped the title in the cage, and I was like, oh, fair play. And then he started posting pictures after and all, and like, pick one, know what I mean? Like, don't pick both, know what I mean? Like, you should have just either kept the title on your shoulder and walked out and started that shit, or you should have just dropped it and left it and said, look, we'll fight and then we'll realise. So I don't like half and half, know what I mean? I didn't really enjoy that. Like, know what I mean? Be true, know what I mean? Like, be true to yourself. Because sometimes, like, he could be playing a character, know what I mean? Like, he could just be, like, living up like Colby Covington. Like, I'm sure that fella's all right, know what I mean? But he was going to get cut from the UFC. He made some mad claims, and now he's bleeding, making millions, know what I mean? Same with Henry Cejudo. Like, you kind of... It needs to be a bit of pro wrestling, bro. You need to be the heel, know what I mean? Everybody loves the bad guy, know what I mean? So, you need to have something a bit about yourself like that. If you don't have it naturally, if you can't talk or you don't have something about yourself, then you need to put something on, know what I mean?
Yeah, and I guess that's the question for yourself too, right? Like moving forward, obviously you're a very complex, intelligent individual. That's somebody that takes the sport, the fighting aspect of the sport, your skill acquisition part of the sport extremely seriously.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the era of MMA now, as you're going to eventually move into the professional ranks of maybe your own personality, the truth of yourself isn't enough? Like, would you be comfortable playing a character? Would you be comfortable doing the heel thing?
Yeah. Like, I think it depends on the situation, know what I mean? Like, and again, it doesn't need, I think, realness, bro. I think, don't get me wrong, I think the heel is a good thing, but I think when you're actually super true to yourself, like Paddy Pimblett, know what I mean? like he's just having a laugh, saying with Darren Till and Hamzat and all. Like they're just being themselves. You know what I mean? Like they're not putting on that, and then people can see that and they respect that. And it's so, look, if my thing's not enough and I'm not a huge pay-per-view draw, then fuck it, I will start slagging a few cunts, you know what I mean, and start saying some mad shit. But I'll try my best to be myself until then, and then fuck it, if I need to do it, then I'll do it. And then hopefully this interview disappears and everybody thinks I'm a dickhead, you know what I mean?
Well, if that happens, we'll make it private immediately, and we'll protect you forever. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, exactly.
So my final question, as I understand I've interrupted your breakfast and everything else.
You're good. I'm used to eating cold dinners and shit.
Can we have, if you're comfortable, can we have a prediction for Saturday night?
Okay, I would say either second or third round head and arm choke. Okay.
I like that. It's an interesting pick. When I was watching the fight, I watched it yesterday just to make sure I was ready for today, and I noticed a few opportunities for the head and arm. I noticed a few overreaches. So
I was only looking at it the other day as well, and I didn't put my head to the ground, man. So it was bleeding, snapping. It was like one detail, bro. You know what I mean? The forehead to the ground, and like Smullen catches me in it all the time, you know what I mean? So I know how it feels when it's on. So just a few small mistakes, but I think, head and arm choke or some sort of choke finish. I don't really like the joint locks. I think the chokes are the way to go, especially against Matthew. He's such a good man. I'll probably choke him asleep, to be honest. He probably won't even tap. So it needs to be that, you know what I mean? It needs to be something where the guy has to go asleep,
For sure. Well, look, as always, I am incredibly grateful for your time and your thoughts and your words. These interviews
that'd be great. I'm not doing fuck on anyway, bro. You know what I mean?
I really, really appreciate it. I mean, look, I understand that these things to you are useful and enjoyable, and you just speak your mind, but it also takes mental energy, right? It takes concentration, it takes mental energy. You have to be on time. You have to make sure that everything is set and whatever. So to take that,
UFC it does, bro. But right now I'm scratching my bollocks down fuck on. You know what I mean? Very straight, bro. You know what I mean? So don't be worrying about it, bro. Don't be stressing.
Well, I respect that as well.
It's great to fucking talk to you. You know what I mean? Like we chat online and stuff like that. We still do, but like it's great, bro. It's great to catch up and talk about these things, and it's just like a little small snippet of what it's like to be a professional and to talk. You know what I mean? I think sometimes if you don't do an interview, like I hate doing them, but you kind of have to do them. I'd rather do them with somebody that I like, and then you get used to talking and you get used to doing all that shit rather than talking with somebody who you don't want to do it with, and it's just like, right, get me off this thing, and you don't actually get to explore the conversation or anything like that. Like, so it's good that you're great at what you do, bro. So you know what I mean? You do your research, you know what I mean? So it's good. I can tell that you're interested in it. You're interested in what you do. You're interested in me. So of course it's good, bro. You know what I mean? It makes it easy to talk, bro.
Well, look, that's the goal. But
exactly.
As always, best of skill for Saturday. And then whatever happens, let's have a conversation a few weeks after and see where things go.
100%, bro. I know that pizza on the way.
Let's go. Take care of yourself, my friend.